Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Chrissy, and I'm here with a book haul. And man, do I have a book haul here for you. I've been collecting these since the end of May, all of June, and now the beginning of July. Um, Mostly, some of these I got because I wanted to read them. The others I kind of got because well, I would like to resell them at some point because they're still in good condition and I already have copies I want here. And so, like, that's it. Let's get into it. I just was pointed out that we keep saying here on BookTube without further ado. And now I'm just gonna actively try to not say that because, yeah, okay. Well, anyway. So we'll start with the books that I got from the end of May. And one of the first ones that I was able to find was Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. So this is the Colin Classics edition, which is fun because it's really tiny. And I think I can get through it because now that it's so tiny, I didn't realize it was actually just like 101 pages. So it's also dog-eared a lot on the side. Are you triggered? I don't really care though, but that's cool. The next one I was able to find, this one is really more of a resell thing slash maybe I'll read it, I'm not entirely sure, but I think that it could be handy because it's the Farewell Miss Julie Logan, a J.M. Barrie omnibus. So this has all of his stories, I think, or some of them. The Little White Bird, The 12-Pound Look, and Farewell Miss Julie Logan. If his name sounds familiar, that's because he wrote Peter Pan, I think. Yeah, J.M. Barrie, yeah. Just to... Wait, let me make sure. What? Wait, no, I know he wrote Peter Pan. Well, anyway, this could be fun to read. After that, I got Shampoo Planet by Douglas Copeland. I wanted to get this because it seemed very 90s. And why did I want this again? I know there was a reason why I wanted it. Oh, right. Yeah. I'm just like, why did I want this? Because it's been so long since I got them that I don't immediately recall why. I just know that I wanted it, so I'm gonna read it. After that, I got Narcopolis by Jeet Thayil. This, I think, this was longlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2012. And it's like, I think it takes place in India in an opium den or something like that. Yeah. So that sounds like fun. And the print is large, so also it's very creamy and I just love to touch it. Wait, was it about an opium den? Yep, opium room. Just making sure. Next I got, this was a gift, a friend of mine. I think I'll leave her Instagram store link down below. She sells books she's not gonna read anymore, and they're much nicer than mine. And so she listed this on her store, and I was like, oh, how much is this? And she just gave it to me. Sarah, you're amazing. Thank you so much. She sent me Behold the Dreamers by Imbolo Mbu. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I butchered that. I'm very sorry. But yes, I had my eye on this on the bookstore for a while now, and it looks so beautiful. So I just really want it. Up next are a bunch of lucky finds that I didn't think I'd be able to find them, especially now that the author has recently passed away and you keep hearing me like talk about him a lot on here. And I'm getting the feeling that I'm turning into what, like, Miriam from Between Lines and Life, how she is with Ted Hughes, and how Winna from Winna Wonders is about Gunter Grass. I'm turning into like the Philip Roth girl. Oh my gosh. So I I don't think you'd be surprised, but I found Exit Ghost by Philip Roth. Every Man by Philip Roth is one I'm probably gonna resell because I already have another copy that I like than that one that I read. And The Plot Against America by Philip Roth. It's very large, and the font is also really big too. So I'm really happy I found this, even though I do have, I think, another copy of it down there. And funny to mention Gunter Grass, but I found My Century by Gunter Grass. This is also in a really good, it was in really good condition and really clean, and I really like the watercolor type cover. So that was cool. And then I think this was just a really good book binder, yeah. And then after that, in another used bookstore, because all I ever do is go to used bookstores. Actually, like legit everything except for 2-3 books here are all from the used bookstore. I keep saying that, but really you should utilize your used bookstores because you get everything cheaper and it's just easier. I mean, yeah, it's not like in the chain bookstores where like they have catalogs and stuff. So I mean, you really gotta dig, but I think that's what makes the find worth it because you work for it. So I found The Spell by Charlotte Bronte, which is interesting because like I think I've owned, the funny part is I always get the Bronte sisters confused because they all have the same last name. So I know somebody wrote Jane Eyre, I think somebody else wrote Wuthering Heights. So yeah, if I'm triggering you by not correctly naming who wrote what, I'm sorry. But I just don't know, because like they confuse me because they're all 3 writers at the same time, and it's also dark and gloomy. Like, where's the difference? But yeah, The Spell, I think this one is about I think somebody gets married in here. So there's that. I found The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. This is nice. It's actually it's less than I think it's less than 100 pages, or at least exactly 100, 102, 105 pages. I also bought this one online, Blue Nights by Joan Didion. So I'm slowly collecting a lot of Joan Didion, and I'm really excited about that. Oh right, another one that I got from a Murang Books on Instagram was Spring Snow by Yukio Mishima. This was really talked about by I think Matthew Sharapa, and I just really I'm so interested in the way he talks about Mishima, and also because I know Mishima was a kind of like a very important / controversial figure in Japan around the time of the 60s. So I really want to know like what was up, and also I want to read his fiction. I would say he's sort of like kind of maybe the Ziz of Japan, which is like I think he had something about fitness, but not really fitness, but more like you really care about your body, like it's a temple or something. And I know there was this bodybuilder guy called Ziz who was kind of like the same, except that was more like partying and drugs. That wasn't like political revolution. So yeah, don't know why I went on that tangent, but yeah. So I took a trip to Iloilo with my best friends, and Iloilo is the island, it's the city in an island next to mine. And I wasn't really able to go around too much. We only stayed for 1 night, so we really made the most of our trip. And while we were there, I went, of course, to book sale. Of course, I mean, like, you know, I want to see what the other places of like our used bookstore chain look like. So I was able to find Dust Tracks on a Road by Zora Neale Hurston. I found Honey for Bears by Anthony Burgess, and Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino. It's like the movie wasn't based on a book, but this is actually the script with photos from the movie. And I really like the movie, so there's more. So I really like it. So I don't know if I want to read it. I don't know if I just want to flip through it, but it's just it's just everything. It gives me life. Um, and then I think before I left for my trip, I was just browsing as one does in the bookstore, and I found Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates. Whew. I found this one before, but like half the cover was torn off, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get that. Even though before I did say the cover doesn't matter, but at the same time, like, you know, there's one, it's different when it's a coffee stain, and it's different when the cover is torn off. It's a stripped cover, ish, half a strip cover. And then I found a biography by the Groucho Marx, Groucho and Me, who was apparently a comedian in the 30s, and this is his biography. He wrote it himself, so I'm not even sure if you can say it's a memoir. But yeah, there are also like, I think there are photos in here, but I can't quite find them. But I'm interested to know like his life and stuff. And then the only book that I'm currently reading now, and the only book I got from like the chain bookstore, is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis, and oh my gosh, right now it's just so good. It's just so good. So I really need to set aside time to finish reading it, because right now I'm just distracted with my phone. And now that I'm back from Iloilo, I got more books, and this time it's really going, it's really just a lot of books. And okay, this is a huge haul. I didn't realize how long this would take, because I lent this book to my best friend and she still hasn't given it back because she still needs to read it, but I really want to make a review already because I made notes and everything. The Stepford Wives by Ira Levin. I found this just in the this next one. I found it in like the book bin, like right there on display. People were just passing it by, like man, that's a weird cover, not gonna look at it. And then I'm like, you fools, it's Camus. So I found The Stranger by Albert Camus. So it's like really short and the font is big, and I'm really happy I found it, because all I can ever find is this copy online, and I don't want to have to pay for the book and shipping. So I'm like, this was amazing, and I'm so happy I found it. Up next was The First Men on the Moon by H.G. Wells. I know he wrote War of the Worlds and The Time Machine, and now I found The Men in the Moon. And then The Diving Bell and the Butterfly by Jean-Dominique Bauby. It sounds very French, I'm assuming it's French. And it's about like the editor of Vogue or something, a former editor-in-chief of French Elle, ended up having a massive stroke and only being able to use one eye. So with that one eye, Jean-Dominique Bauby apparently was able to communicate this entire book. I think one eye, yeah, able to move only one eyelid. He dictated his remarkable book. That's amazing. Yeah, so there's that. And then I found by Alison Weir, Isabella, She-Wolf of France, Queen of England. And The Sixth Wife by Jean Plaidy. This one was an accident because I thought that it was I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith, but the word castle was what stuck in my head, so I was like, oh, I'm King of the Castle by Susan Hill. Like, no, this wasn't what I meant to buy, but here it is. That's okay. And then Miriam, I found Ted Hughes again, The Dream Fighter and Other Creation Tales. So I think this is about this is actually the third volume of creation stories by Ted Hughes. So I think it sort of reads maybe like a bedtime story or something, but I'm actually interested to find out how Ted Hughes interprets creation. And for a good copy in mass market paperback by Robin Hobb, I found The Shaman's Crossing. So I think this was actually book one in another series, so I'm really glad that I found it, and it's still pretty nice, pretty floppy, pretty nice, shiny. And last but not least, my eyes skipped over this because I was reading the spines on the wall of the bookstore. And so I saw the word communist, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to read about that, like whatever. And then as I was really like taking my time, because what I do is I do an overview, and then after that I look at titles individually just in case I miss anything. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's Philip Roth. I married a communist. Like what? Like what? I had no idea I'd find this here. Like I thought this would be the one that I had the hardest time finding, but no, it was like right there in front of me. So I just grabbed it and I held it close, and then these college boys like to my left were like staring at me like, this girl is weird. So backs away. So yeah, they just stayed away from me after that because it's like, why is she hugging a book? But yeah, that's it. This is my haul. I'm not gonna lift it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.